Did you hear that the pink sauce lady went bankrupt? I actually did. And I'm kind of glad. Because I don't think she deserved any of the success she found. Hang on, let me just make sure. Yep. Yeah, this was all within a year. She went from being a nobody to like successful chef. Well, not really successful. That is like very much a stretch. In fact, the word chef is still a stretch. She went from a nobody to having an audience to a millionaire and now bankrupt. It's very poetic. Yeah, I saw this video by Atozy. Yeah, pull it up. I won't make y'all sit through the whole video, but he does like summarize
What's your
it.
plan to watch the game today?
I have to watch my
And
neighbors.
you're gonna have to sit through ads because I don't play for
You know what it
AdBlizz.
is? My plan from
Although
Verizon.
it's kind of looking
Limited
better
time
and
to
better
NFL
each
Sunday
day
ticket
because
from
I'm
YouTube
basically
TV on
getting
us, a
free
$449
sponsored.
value. Plus, get up to $1,000 off Google Pixel Fold. Only on
Basically
Verizon.
sponsoring for free.
The gods have spoken. You need a new, clean,
Wow, back-to-back
heavenly body
skipless
wash
ads.
with Native.
This person built a viral business and went bankrupt all within a span of a year, and she has no one else but herself to blame. She essentially started falling down a staircase about a year ago, and she's still falling down that same staircase
props to
today.
you
And it
for
currently
keeping
has a
up
bit of a
with the
sad
whole story
ending,
for a
but
year.
it's a valuable lesson for anyone buying product.
I've never talked about the pink sauce fiasco on my channel at all because we truly live in a world where that believes any publicity is good publicity, when that's just not the case. Even if I'm going to completely, like, whatever on the product or person, I'm still promoting it, so I just never talk about it. But now that she's got no business or no success, then I don't feel as bad as,
On
talking
the
about
internet
it.
and for business owners.
It's kind of a
I've now been
poetic story
covering
if
the
you think about
story
it.
for a year
And a
now,
good
so we're
lesson.
halfway to an associate's degree in the pink sauce, which isn't too wild to think about considering that ASU is now offering a Taylor Swift course. But this whole
Hey, I would
story
take that
starts
over
off in
Greek
June
any
of
day.
2022 when a
Right,
chef
that
on
dead
TikTok
language nobody
went viral
speaks.
for pouring
Exactly.
a hot pink sauce
Sorry,
on
there's
her
a-
fast food items. And pretty quickly, TikTok users started asking, wait, what's that sauce? And why is it hot
There's some
pink?
kind of
And
gnat on my
apparently
wall.
it was her own
Sorry about
sauce,
that.
so clearly there was a demand for it. So what do you think she did? Did she A, continue to hype up the sauce until she could launch the
I love
brand
this guy's
properly, or
editing.
B, she quickly
I wish
made
I
a
could
bunch in
edit
her
my
own
videos
kitchen
like
and
this to
sent
make
it out
them
in the Florida
slightly more
heat without any
interesting.
measures for keeping the product cold?
Maybe
If you
someday.
guessed A, you had your hopes up way too much. So sadly, B is what happened. So she filmed herself bottling it in her kitchen, announced the product, people ordered them, and multiple of her customers received their package like this. And I'll let myself from the past explain it.
I can't imagine getting something like that in the mail. Yeah, just kill it
A little
with
bit more.
fire.
The pink sauce
Cause y'all
cancel.
waited this long for nothing.
Yeah,
This
just
is
kill it
no,
with
no,
fire.
ma'am. We're not trying this. Look at this. It stinks. Like,
Alright,
oh
we
my
skip-
god. Look.
Damn, no, we're still. Okay.
Her name was Allie, and she becomes a part of the story later on. But in the meantime, there was definitely some silly business going on in the Pink Sauce Lady's TikTok account. Because after her
break, I
claiming
guess
she
you
didn't know
call
what
it,
FDA
still
stood
much of a
for, she had
stretch.
someone who she claimed to be the FDA show up to her door. And I'll let myself from the past explain that situation.
We haven't shipped out any packages since, we have became aware of this issue.
Right, okay, so first things first, FDA shows up to her door. Why is she filming this? I guess that alone isn't too bad because we do have a lot of distrust in government entities here, so I can see why she would
It's
want to
still
record this for her
suspicious.
own records. But then my second question is, why would she want to post this? How would this help her? And then
And it only shows that she knows about the criticism and isn't addressing it. She's just trying to find some way of, like, being forgiven when she never apologizes. That's another thing. She never apologizes for the fact that she shipped actual poison. And I'm not just talking like, oh, the product is bad. No, everything was rotten. And even if it didn't show up rotten, it would be because... Hang on. Why is... Majority of the people, like, when I say majority, I'm talking like nearly everybody that bought the product, it would show up spoiled and rotten because the ingredients were just unsafe and stuff. They were just terrible, and I think I skipped over the part when he lectures the ingredients. I'll go back. But yeah, they would all spoil, and if you ate it, like the lab results showed that it could cause botulism, which is a genuine health concern. Oh, hang on. Here we go.
Pitaya, pink salt, dried.
Okay, yeah, so all these ingredients and stuff. She doesn't even label the spices. You gotta name every single spice and stuff. If there's salt and pepper, you gotta name it. If there's curry, chili pepper, whatever, you've gotta name it. And, down here, you got milk. That spoils. Eggs. That spoils. The distilled that could be vinegar, but that could also be ginger. I mean, is she dyslexic or something? Like, that could go either way. She either forgot a letter or mistyped a letter. That could be vinegar or ginger. Jesus Christ. But yeah, that's the basis of it. And, she semi shows that she's aware of the criticism.
So that whole thing
doesn't
just became a new
apologize.
debacle in the Pink
And this is
Sauce
at
Lady
launch.
saga. Did she
doesn't
fake
have
an
a
FDA
business
visit
yet.
for some reason? I have no
She
idea
started
why
the
she
launch,
would want to do that in the first place, but
in the
something
toilet.
about that whole clip seemed very off.
And
I had plenty of people
she's
commenting,
not
claiming that
doing
they've
anything to
worked for the
unclog
FDA and calling her out saying that
Just
was
leaving
fake.
it
That was a
there
staged
for right
meeting.
now.
But it's also hard to tell if they're legit or if they're just hating on her. But then this is where the story gets really weird.
Great.
Because
Part
remember
two, which is the
Allie
talk
and
show,
her doing a lab test
which
on the
is-
pink sauce.
Up until this point, all we know is that the product is terrible and unsafe. But once you get to this talk show, you'll learn that the creator is just terrible as well.
Well, before Allie was going to post the test results, she was invited to go on to a new talk show called The Karamo Show. And I don't think this dude
Never
could give
heard
the
of
world
it.
the worst first
And
impression
considering,
for a
like, this
talk
was-
show. To my understanding...
Wait, did he say new? That was a roughly new talk show at the time that I can't think of. That was like one of the worst talk shows ever. I can't imagine that talk show still exists. The ratings got to be... They've also got to be through the toilet.
Allie went
Holy
on to
crap.
the show because they were going to talk about the pink sauce and reveal the lab test results and actually address the issues head on with the pink sauce lady, which would have been very interesting to watch. But
Spoilers,
instead,
they don't.
We got one of the weirdest talk show episodes I've ever seen in my life.
I feel like I haven't met her yet, and just kind of the last line of her saying that I harassed her just didn't make me uncomfortable because I never set out to harass anybody. And I think that's like a little bit delusional to say something like that.
So tell me, from your perspective, she says that she didn't harass you.
I think it's delusional to send a sample to a laboratory after you stuck your finger in it.
Why?
What?
That just sounds like you have something to hide. Like, why would someone care if they sent their sauce
Right,
to a
you
lab?
got
They're a
nothing to
customer.
hide,
They
then you
bought the
shouldn't
sauce
care.
to begin with. And if everything's
They
great,
bought the
there shouldn't be a
product. They're allowed to
problem.
do
I don't
whatever
think
the hell they
Stubbs or
want with
Sweet
it.
Baby Ray's would care if I
Except,
bought one of their
reselling
sauces
it if
and
there's a
sent it to a
patent
lab.
on it.
I feel like
But
this
she just
whole
wants to
show
make sure
comes
it's
across
safe.
as
There's
fake
nothing
and
wrong
almost
with that.
brain dead because, hey, they've already came to a conclusion. They want to defend Chef P and downplay her negligence and then say shame on the person who critiqued her.
But you then went further. Tell me what you then did.
So I saw it and I was like, wow, this is such a cool sauce. It's bright pink, like I'm a sauce girl. So when I was doing the review, there was just so many red flags that I saw in it, like
Holy crap.
the label,
I figured it out. I figured out what universe she's from. She's from the dystopian... she's like a dystopian Malibu Barbie. Like, that's her whole persona. She didn't come from the Barbie world. She came from, like, whatever the opposite is. Whatever universe where they have, like, the complete opposite. Where everybody there is just idiotic and is the opposite of, kind. If that's her characteristic, like, full of sass, then she gets an A+ in it. Doesn't mean it's very respectable.
When you make a USDA label, you have to put in batch numbers because if something were to be recalled, you have to be able to trace it down to the salt and pepper that is in something.
True.
And so if something...
Wait, not to cut you off, but to cut you off. So you didn't see the video because you follow me, right?
Well,
Ready to refresh your style with Stitch Fix?
Yeah,
First,
bad.
tell us how you
Damn
like your
it.
clothes to fit.
Skip.
The colors you like.
I want to hear Alex.
She's like, uh-oh, she's talking too much. We can't let her flip the narrative. Let's interrupt her. But let's
Yeah, this
continue.
talk show host
You had
seems
your
very
time to talk,
biased.
so
He
just let
seems
me
like
have
he's trying to
mine.
protect the pink sauce lady
So
when
I
she doesn't
understand,
deserve
like,
it.
if it
She
does
generally
have dairy in it,
created a
you see all
problem
these concerns. You saw
and didn't
my
do anything to
TikTok.
solve it.
I follow you. You have my address, my phone number, my email. If once I posted my original video, if you wanted to make things right as a business owner, when you create a product, that's your pride and joy. You send it off to someone, they don't like it. You're like, oh my gosh, like that's my pride and
So are
joy.
you
Let
saying
me
that
fix
you weren't contacted by
No,
Chef P?
and the thing is, if you knew I had a problem with it, you could have contacted me and I could have turned around. And I'm not a hateful person. I could have been like, wow, Chef P contacted me.
So you're saying that you contacted me?
No, I'm saying
She's
I
got
never
so much
contacted you.
sass.
Okay, but why would I contact someone who's fabricating something on the internet?
So you
This
have
e-
the receipt to show the world and say, hey, look, I tried to make it right. Why?
Right. But more importantly, right here in this Penguin Z video, which I did watch, like, I think I just accidentally clicked on it or autoplayed something. But in this video, you get, like, the full, like, talk show. I can't show you the full talk show because, to no one's surprise, he took it down. Because it was terrible. And everybody was on the side of the other lady, not the pink sauce lady. But in the full talk show, the creator says that she reached out to everybody, you know, let them know, like, she claims that she reached out to everybody, you know, let them know that, you know, she apologized, you know, working to fix on it. She said that. Well, this just contradicted her whole statement, saying that I didn't know saying that, you know, I didn't reach out, and why would I?
Why is she attacking her?
Nothing was
Jesus.
fabricated.
To be honest, you're not special.
She's the customer.
You're not special. Okay? So
What
why
is this
should
audience?
I lose my mind?
What is going on here? Like, what? She's
It feels like they just took the most random people off the streets and told them to clap every chance they got. Are they not hearing what's being said? Why are they clapping?
your customer. She is special.
Thank you.
I'm at a loss for words here. She allegedly received a questionable product, and you're claiming that she fabricated it. What is the audience clapping for? I hate shows like this because they're trying to like manufacture some girl boss.
Better to have
moment,
no
when
audience
reality
in that
it just shows
situation.
that she's bad at PR.
Just,
But they go,
it would have been a lot funnier if we just had like Eric Andre stock claps in that moment rather than an actual audience, because that's just pathetic.
go for a break and they come back here.
I could have,
Because
you
one's
know,
funny
taken
and
down
what
the
actually happened
video
is just
and
pathetic.
done my testing and
it's
kept it to
awful.
myself, which I did.
No, you could have reached out to me like, hey, girl, you know what? I see what you're doing.
So you
It's
don't like
amazing and
criticism.
all. I'm a supporter.
You're on social media and you don't like
I
criticism.
think you should look into this. Take this step. Did you research this?
What?
Well, why would she do that? She's not your goddamn manager. Ugh. I cannot sit through that part. Like, I've seen that so many times and I just cannot sit through it with a straight face. That is some unhinged levels of delusion. What's next? You want her to run your whole business? Because, I mean, to be frank, if you just let her run the whole thing, we probably would have gotten a much safer product than what we actually got. Jeez. Yeah, that's what happened. You know, she just, I don't know. This was her first sign of publicity. Oh, God. Yeah, and
As
she
you're not
grabs her
special
hand.
as far as
And as
someone
Moist Crit
trying
quotes, I
to hurt.
agree with him. I cannot stand when somebody does that. It's just, the talk show host and the creator just completely insulted a genuinely nice lady. I wouldn't care as much if, you know, she was like a Karen, like what it might have actually, like, that would have been a lot better, but she's not a Karen. She's the exact opposite. Pink Sauce Lady, no, Pink Sauce Lady is not a Karen. There's like completely, there's so many other words. Karen's not it. She's something completely else. She's just, well, idiotic is putting it nicely. But
Me.
What is going on? What am I watching? This is so stupid. If she's not,
I'm losing my composure. Like, again, if you were on that talk show, you got to try to maintain levels of, like, composure, intellect. You know, you got to be more respectable. She just went all out, like a full-thrown sass, and most people would have just stopped right there and, you know, just never let it pop off to begin with. But it still goes on because, as I stated before, she becomes a millionaire because of this product. Because some delusional company actually bought it. Let me find the part. Here we go. Alright, it's around this moment. And yeah, he interviews the other lady that was there, the one that tested the product. She's a genuinely nice person. Like, it's hard to believe that she actually seemed to have been delivered more hate than the pink sauce lady. Well, on social media, because in real life, most people they completely agree and like know that the pink sauce is just terrible. Nobody is buying it. And you know, for whatever reason why you either like the late like for whatever reason why you either love it or hate it, like you know, this whole situation, a lot of times it's for the wrong reason. The right reason is she made a pink sauce lady made a terrible product. She showed that she didn't know what the FDA was, so she doesn't know what it means to be a chef. And that's her field of that's her career. She didn't know that. She doesn't know business. And she's not even a good person. She's not like this wholesome person who, you know, made a mistake and apologized. She never apologizes. And again, she's not a good person. Sorry, I feel like I'm talking too much. Let's get to the part where somebody actually bought the product. Because this is like that's the
Ramos
next
show
chapter of
shook
the
her
story.
up enough to not want to post the results. The show was so far on the pink sauce girl's side that if they were good, they would have shown them there. But a couple months later,
Right, they just straight up defended the pink sauce lady without any sort of evidence.
Ramos deleted
It was
all
a bad
of the
product,
videos from that
and I feel like
episode
you
of the
need to
talk
talk
show.
about
And then,
that.
not too
It was
far
never
after
good.
that,
It was just straight
announced
up
that the pink
bad,
sauce signed a
poison.
deal with
Like,
Dave's
why
Gourmet
would
and is
anyone
now
want
in
it?
Walmart stores, which was a very confusing announcement because I had no idea anyone would want to buy a sauce with that reputation and from
And there
an
you
owner.
go. Like I said, like I just said like earlier, we genuinely live in a world where any sort of publicity can be seen as good publicity. And that's not the case. And I am baffled how a major company that knows more than than actually the pink sauce lady about how they know more. They should be way more smart. They should be much smarter. They should be more smart than her. They just they bought a product that had like the worst launch imaginable. Ugh. I don't know, I'm talking too much. Again, I didn't want to make a whole video on pink sauce. But you know, we're all just trying to have a good time here. Talking in chat. It's ridiculous. Which is why I'm a lot happier that, you know, in the end she failed. She's finally back where below where she started. And I'll talk more about that later, but right now we need to see what happened
Who
when
has
she
that
got
kind
that
of
product
attitude.
bought out.
To the 19 million Reese Pieces and
Holy
Lifesavers
What is that audio? Oh god. That sends shivers down my spine. I'm sorry. I was trying to finish the audio, but I'm sorry for y'all who have to hear this. Oh, I accidentally muted
Chapter
it.
2. Can we please do that? Or we some of y'all need to be stuck in chapter 1. I'm ready for chapter 2.
But then, shortly after, Karamo invites everyone back onto the show, including Allie.
Y'all know that lately I've been checking in with guests that have been on my show.
I
And
didn't
I'm
know
so
about
excited
that.
to be checking in
have you
with
now?
Chef P and Allie today. Chef P and Allie were on my
That
show
had to be a
after
whole
the pink
marketing
sauce
stunt.
went
There's
viral.
no
Why
way
now?
he did
That's
this out of
my
the
main
courtesy of his
question.
heart.
Why are you doing this apology now?
If Pink Sauce was in Walmart at this time and he brought them back on, it's 100% a marketing stunt. And frankly, I don't want to promote this product. I'm skipping it. Hang on. Within a year, and it feels like I'm amazed about how much. It seems like her looks has changed more than the average person within a year, and like not for the worse. And you know, you think her personality would have changed as well, but it doesn't.
Show women.
All right, I'm gonna skip. I don't want any more of this talk show. It's just horrible. All right, here we go. Let's get. So yeah, it gets bought into Walmart. And I don't think he talks about it in this video. Dave. It's probably like the worst typing I can buy. Dave said they paid. Alright, Dave's Gourmet says they paid Pink Sauce Creator over $120K and continue to make payments due to both parties. That's different than what I was told. Because from what I remember, it was bought out for over $1 million, like the rights and stuff. And the way that the company would work is they get it into the Walmart shelves, and once they buy, and once people buy the product, they make money. Portion of that goes back to the creator who's making it, or I don't even think she's making it anymore. Dave's Gourmet's the one that's mixing it. They're the ones that fix the formula. Not that that would matter, because I still wouldn't trust it. The fact that the initial product was poison, I'm not going to trust it. Yeah, she's not even making it. It seems like she's just floatly, like, getting paid. Like, I feel like that $120,000. Hang on. Yeah. Okay, so I think what happens is the $120K was supposed to be like was supposed to be passive income. As people buy the product, they make money, she gets paid. She gets paid that portion or something. I feel like that's how it was supposed to go. And that's all when they bought her product for over $1 million. I think it was a couple million, actually.
I feel like she didn't deserve that brand endorsement from Allie after treating her that poorly previously.
Yeah,
but even after the show, like, I kept asking myself, who is buying the sauce? Because she hasn't given anyone any reason to buy the sauce.
It's horrible.
And then we just didn't really hear too much.
Everything about this whole story is horrible. And I mean, some would say that the ending is horrible, but to me, it's kind of a gray area, because it's both a happy ending that, a terrible company, terrible product, terrible creator, kind of like downfall. Holy, I didn't even realize Moist Crate just uploaded. He's uploading about the very same product. Talk about timing. Damn. Are we gonna watch it? Maybe, if we have time.
From the pink sauce for a long time. I guess other than every now and then people would be like, oh, look, the color is a little bit different, or look, the sauce is now on clearance at Walmart. But quick side note, the inconsistency in the color of the Dave's Gourmet version of the pink sauce is because they actually use real dragon fruit in it, and apparently you have a little bit of an inconsistency with colors there.
Right, so they knew what they were doing. They were a trusted company, and they actually made a decent product, but the initial product was still poisoned, so it just had such a bad reputation that it makes sense why it didn't last more than 6 months. I don't even think it was 6 months at all. I think it flopped within 5 months, maybe.
But we had quite a few months of radio silence from the pink sauce after that, until quite the odd article from the Rolling Stone came out titled, How She Survived Her Downfall. And looking at it now, that aged poorly. But she was also a speaker at some Walmart event, so I assume things were going pretty well.
I will say, if you don't believe in miracles, I will say it is kind of a miracle that she managed to find success off of a terrible product. But it feels like that miracle was taken away once, just her actions caught up to her.
Well, until she just announced that she was essentially bankrupt and broke. And to be able to cover this, I felt like we needed the context of what actually happened, because while I have sympathy for her, her own actions landed her in this situation to begin with. So yesterday, as of recording this video, she posted this GoFundMe that says, Hi, my name is Veronica Shaw. I'm the founder of the Pink Sauce LLC, one of the most viral sauce sensations of 2022. As a young entrepreneur with big dreams, I followed my intuition and went forth.
Most viral sauce sensation of 2022. That's not cap. If she said popular, then, or the best, if she said something like popular or best, then yeah, that is absolutely cap. But I will say it definitely was the most viral sauce. Not for a good reason, but
towards my dreams to create something new. I made a few mistakes on the way, which led me to trust a company that is trying to take everything away from me. They lied to me, they are not paying me, and are not being transparent about my records. I've tried on multiple occasions to try to come on one accord with them, but they refuse to reimburse me for marketing expenses that I spent my own funds towards. I've been silent.
The initial lady, that's the one that was the victim here. She got, like, shamed for no reason. Pink Sauce Lady may be a lot of things, but a victim she's not. Everything that has happened to her in the last year, she deserved it.
Financially sabotaged. I am a single mom and I do everything for my kids. Right now, I don't even have enough money to buy my kids food on my own. My mom is on disability and has been giving us $20 just to get by on a daily basis. School is a few days away and I haven't been able to get my kids clothes or anything. I'm currently facing an eviction that's gone into default. The sheriffs can come to my door any day now. I need legal help. They're refusing to pay me the royalty that is owed to me. I don't know what else to do. I can't give up. I need help.
So the royalties must have been the 120K we just looked up. And if that's the case, it sounds like just a bait. Again, she doesn't, as I said before, she doesn't know anything. She didn't really seem to know too much about her field of expertise, that being culinary. Sorry, not catering, culinary. She didn't seem to know anything about it, so I don't trust her to know anything about business or law. But if her product, yeah, sorry, 1 second. Yeah, this is a little stressing talking about it. Yeah, this is a little stressing talking about this unrecorded. All right. If her product was bought out by a company, then in order to get paid, you have to meet minimum sales requirement. That's most likely what the contract was. If she didn't, in order to get paid 120,000, then she would have had to make, then that has to be the bare minimum she would have had to make from her product. Most likely doubled or tripled, so that the company that's actually making the sauce now, Dave's Gourmet, they would have to get paid. If she never even met the minimum sales requirement, and I'm assuming she didn't, because if they're still charging $20 per bottle, nobody's going to buy it. And that's not even contributing, that's not even contributing the terrible launch. The fact that this product has just had such negative publicity, it makes sense why nobody is buying it and why she hasn't made a profit. She should have seen that coming. But the biggest thing I have to question is, if it was bought out for a couple million in less than a year, what did she do with that money? Because even if she didn't meet the minimum sales requirement, she still had that initial, I'm just going to go on off the edge right here and say 1.5 million. She still had the 1.5 million she was paid off. Even after taxes, that's still several $100,000. How did she blow through all that money? It's not like she's the one that's making the sauce anymore, so she's not buying ingredients and making the product in bulk. She's not doing that. So there's got to be something else going on that's not being shared with the world, but it doesn't matter because she's claimed she's bankrupt and now is begging for money from the people who she initially said, who she basically told prior, she said we weren't special, okay? So, yeah, she told us we weren't special, and now she's begging for help.
Yeah, that's just a terrible situation that I wish upon no one. But
yeah.
This is
it generally is sad, but she only did it to herself. She did it to herself.
It's also sadly one of those cases where she made her own bed here. I'm really interested in what kind of deal she signed here, because if they are allegedly not paying her, it could be some sort of minimum sales requirement before she starts seeing any return.
$120,000 is a lot of money. $125,000 is a lot of money. So not being able to make that's set. And holy crap!
To fight a massive company in court. Sad.
Yeah, 100,000. That's not even gonna come close. If I was in that situation, I would have just cut my losses and, try to start fresh. Starting with apologizing to those that we wronged. Because actions speak louder than words. And, she never once apologized or tried to make right of her actions. She just shamed anybody that gave her even the tiniest ounce of criticism. And, ruined her entire reputation. A reputation that was built on, I don't know. It was built on pine wood. It was set to break at any moment, and she just stabbed it to the ground. She just rammed an entire boat into the dock. I don't know what analogy you would use for it, but
sadly, she's going to need a lot more than that if she's actually going to have a fighting chance, because lawsuits are very expensive in America.
And I don't even think there's a lawsuit to begin with. It just seems like she doesn't understand
she went from grabbing
business.
her customer's hand, telling them
it just sounded like she thought, oh, well, I'm gonna get a paycheck every month for 120,000, without understanding that people have to actually buy a product. And I'm one of the people that never have and never will. And considering how it was on clearance within 3 months, it really shows that nobody seemed to really care about the pink sauce.
That they are not special to begging for money to feed her kids all within the span of a year. That's
which is
a humbling
crazy.
Experience.
I will say, it is a crazy story in general. But yeah, that's... Sorry to go off the rails. I can't believe... That's... Talk about a coincidence. I didn't even realize... Hard to believe Penguin Z uploaded an entire video while I was talking about it. Probably end up watching that after I end this stream.